Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Thrilled and excited to be connecting in with you. Today, we're going to be talking about how to adapt and grow and really build that life you want so you can have the impact that you want. And sometimes when we have things going on like we're facing today with the pandemic, with uncertain times, with things moving and shifting and changing and the information moving around, we keep trying to find that quote unquote new normal, that place for us to be. And I want to encourage and support all of us to be able to adapt, to continue to move forward, those things that matter most to you in your life, those things that you're wanting to bring forward, the way and the lifestyle you're wanting to build towards, being able to be supported to do that, because those things are still important as we are adapting and maneuvering and finding our footing and stepping forward again in a changing environment. And today we're going to be looking at that, particularly in the area of finances, because it's important. Those have been impacted for many, many people across our country and around the world. So let's have a conversation about that to really lean in and support you so that as you're building towards the future, you're able to build it in a way that allows you to retire as you desire. So welcome. We're excited for the show that we've got lined up, our amazing guest. I know you're going to enjoy the conversation, but in order to get the most out of the conversation, it's important to be present. In fact, let's take a breath together. Beautiful. Breathe out. Some of us are running around so much, we forget to breathe deeply. So breathe again. All the way to your feet. And then out through the mouth like through a straw. Beautiful. This type of breathing helps bring us presence, slows us down a little bit so we can catch up with ourselves, gives us an opportunity to bring oxygen to every cell in the body, which gives us clarity and an opening. It opens up a space for us to receive by being present, being intentional, being purposeful, open to whatever in our conversation today, or as you are listening, information that's coming through or you're thinking about can serve and support you. This time is for you. So let's take a moment to really feel in, breathe, and receive everything that is here to serve and support you. Beautiful. And in fact, I'm going to encourage you to close your eyes just for a moment and listen. What is it that you need today that will encourage you, support you, uplift you, empower you? What do you need today? Just receive that information that you're willing to receive, because that can sometimes shift the information coming through. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Receive that information. Take a breath. Come back into the room fully present. And take a moment and write down the information you received, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. So just write that down. Great. And this helps you bring it forward, keep it top of mind. We can get so distracted on all that's going on around us. We can forget what it is that we need, and we can miss it because we're distracted by that next shiny object. So instead, keep it right top of mind in front of you today during our conversation and when you go back out into the world, really having that clarity around what it is that you need and are willing to receive. And here's what's magical about this. You don't have to figure out the how. You just need to be on the lookout for that need being met and open and actually looking forward to being surprised in the wonderful and unexpected way that need may be met. Look forward to being surprised and be open and unattached to how that need gets met. Beautiful. We're going to go around our virtual room, and as we do that, I'm going to invite each of our amazing guests to take a moment and just share what was laid on their heart when they took a moment to stop, pause, breathe, and receive, and listen, kind of what's placed on their heart. So with that, Bill, I'd love for you to start. What was laid on your heart when we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
It was definitely my family. We have a 1-year-old, and he just started walking, and he's talking, and it just made me realize how grateful we are, because we've been home through all of this, to see him develop and see him grow and evolve. So that was definitely on my mind.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations. That's neat. And those are some
Thank you.
big milestones. And I love that you're taking a moment to just appreciate and celebrate having the time to be together and experience all of those developmental stages. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And how about you, Dr. Julie? What was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
I was so feeling that I was so blessed by the great connections that I am making and have currently. I'm also, just like Bill, very grateful for my family. My dad is super person, and it's great to be working and connecting with him as well. But most of all, I'm so happy for all the opportunities that are out there. And I'm very grateful for you, Rebecca, because you are allowing us to share a little bit of things with you. And so thank you for your friendship and your kindness.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I can feel your gratefulness, and Bill's yours too. And I think that's so beautiful that we are taking a moment today to appreciate, to celebrate, and be thankful for all of those blessings, all of those opportunities and things that we have in our life. And we can sometimes forget in the busyness, or we can focus on other things. And I love that both of you are sitting in such a beautiful place of appreciation and thankfulness, and even celebrating those connections and relationships in your life. Just beautiful. And listeners, what about you? What are you feeling as you're taking a moment to stop, pause, and listen, and really feel into all that you are needing, all of that you are grateful for, all that you're appreciating, all of those pieces? What are you feeling and hearing and discovering during these few moments we're taking to stop, pause, catch up with ourselves, and listen a little bit? It's so important that we allow ourselves to hear and appreciate and really feel into what is going on within us and around us. And I love the focus of appreciation and thankfulness that we're having today. So as we go into our next commercial break, or our first commercial break, I encourage you to stay present. Resist that urge of crossing things off the to-do list. Choose to stay present and really take these 2 minutes as a moment in time just for you. And we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announce Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall-Griter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. It gave you an opportunity to stop, pause, and breathe, and just really connect in with yourself and catch up with yourself a little bit. We move so fast in the world, sometimes we can not take a moment to listen and catch up. So I hope that you use our time together today to do that, to really sink in, let us pour into you, support you on your journey, and use those 2 minutes moments that are built throughout the show to process and integrate all that serves. Oh, welcome back. We are talking about in a dynamic and changing environment that we are all living in right now. And it has created some significant change on how we connect, how we communicate, even how education is being handled in schooling and children. Like, there's so many dynamics that have shifted dramatically since the beginning of the year. And with all of that movement and shifting, I want us to take some time today to really be able to think about where we're going, what we're building, how are we choosing to be in this changing environment, and choosing to bring forward those things that matter most to us, both now and into the future. And part of that future is looking at our finances, and what we do now with our finances builds towards our future. How are we looking at that? Have we lost focus a little bit and need to just check in, take a look, and see where we're at to be able to build where we want to go? And so today I'm really excited to introduce our financial expert that is joining us. You got to hear from him in the beginning of the show as he shared from the heart, but I want you to know a little bit of his background, and then he's going to share some exciting information and insight with us. Bill Bloom is a #1 international best-selling author, a retirement income certified professional, RICP. He helps individuals, couples, and business owners create lifetime income streams from their investments. So hear that, lifetime income streams from their investments, and is passionate about helping you be able to build the lifestyle you want now and in the future so that you can retire as you desire. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Bill Bloom to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. You said that so incredibly well. That was amazing. Thank you for the warm introduction.
You are very welcome. Thrilled to have you here today. And I'm excited for us to talk about the subject around money that sometimes is not our favorite subject. So I appreciate your willingness to lean in and support us, because it can become a very different conversation. It can be aligned with what we're wanting to build in our life and become an important part of that. So I appreciate you taking that stand for us. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why helping people with their retirement is one of your favorite things to do.
Retirement planning is so unique. Everyone is so incredibly different. Their hobbies, the things that they want to do, the things that they want their money to do for them, is uniquely different for everyone. And when I started in the financial world in 2008, we were going through some really turbulent times. We all remember that. We all remember seeing our account values and where they were. I remember some people saying, I don't even want to look at them because the market was down so much during those times. And now in 2020, when we look forward, we're in another time that's very uncertain. We're in this pandemic. And what I learned during 2008 and 2009 is that people want help. People want genuine ideas that are customized and suitable for them. And they want to work with someone who's going to listen to them. And that's really what my focus has been over the past 12 years.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I love the perspective that you have, because you have helped people through turbulent times, changing times before. And you can come with that voice of experience to really help them and give them good information to help them build what they're wanting to build. So thank you so much for sharing. And what is part of your favorite, or your favorite part of that? That's the way to say it. What is, when you get to help somebody, especially during these challenging, turbulent times, why is that important and meaningful to you?
That's a great question. And the reason why this is so important for me is because I've realized that people just want someone who will listen to them and will create opportunities that suits their needs. And that's really what we focus on at Bloom Financial, is we focus on our current clients' needs. A perfect example is I spoke with one of my clients this morning, and we've been trying for a couple months now to look for new opportunities to help create increasing or better income streams for them. And we finally found it. We found it yesterday. So we finally had a chance to talk this morning, and I was all giddy and happy. I was like a little kid almost. And it's just a passion. It's just about making people's lives better. I truly and genuinely mean that. A lot of people in the world say, I like to help people, things like that, and that's great. But this is truly a passion, is to help people with their retirement income planning.
Beautiful. And I love that you were on the lookout for 2 months. You didn't just try to find any quick fix. You tried to find that right fit for them. And when it was right, you were celebrating with them, finding that right fit. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's because it's all about them. We were finally able to help them with their specific wants and needs, and we're able to make that happen now.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And I know you have a book coming out. I know it ties into programs and all kinds of amazing things called Retire as You Desire. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about that.
Yes. So on August 14th, we are releasing the book Retire as You Desire. And this book was created to help basically anyone who's looking for retirement income planning ideas. Because at the end of the day, when you go to retire, you're going to need income. And what we're doing is we created these income streams that are going to help people and hopefully last their lifetime as well. So that's what the book is all about.
Beautiful. And it's a very user-friendly, kind of fun book. Would you share a little bit about what it looks and feels like?
Oh my goodness, yes, I'd love to. So the book is all about making it fun, making the retirement planning process fun, because it's traditionally not. It's very overwhelming. So we have different photos in there. We have almost like cartoon pictures to make it fun and exciting. So we're trying to make things light. We're not trying to make things very, very not too serious. We want to have fun with the process and make it engaging, and that's what the book is all about.
Beautiful. I love it. It has great information without being too heavy or weighing down and too much stuff. It helps you make this subject approachable and supports people and can bring them forward really powerfully. So we're excited about it. It's everyone, in case you didn't get that date, I want you to write it on your calendar. August 14th. It will be released, and he's making it available for a special rate of $1, $1 for the first 24, maybe 48 hours that it'll be available starting on Friday. That's next week, the 14th. You'll be able to add this beautiful book to your library. So I encourage you to lean in, watch for the posting and sharing we'll be doing about it. Mark that date on your calendar. What an amazing value to be able to add a book of this quality to your library for that really special rate. So, Bill, we're excited. I thank you for being willing to make it available to our listeners at that special rate, as well as helping make the subject that can be touching, sensitive and heavy and touchy for people, making it a little bit more approachable and bringing a kind of a playfulness and a fun to it while really helping people in very powerful ways. And that's a beautiful combination. Oh, can you share a little bit of what you hope people get out of the book and next steps they can even take after reading and enjoying it?
Oh, absolutely. So the whole purpose of this book is to give people hope that there is a way that they can retire. Because I've had the conversation with countless people over the years who will say, I'll never retire, I'll never be able to. And really the book is empowering. It gives you the steps for what it will take for you to retire as you desire. And that's what we really want to strive for, is creating a retirement income plan that's geared and customized for you. And that's what we do.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And do you have a vision of where you want this information to go, this book, a shift or change that you're wanting to see as you bring it forward in the world?
Yes, this is really important. This book takes 45 minutes to an hour to read. This isn't going to take weeks. So it's a really simple, and I love the simplicity of this process. It's a simple book to read that will give you the different steps on what it takes to actually have a successful retirement income plan created for you.
Beautiful. So in 45 minutes, as people read this book, digest it, take in the information, what do you want those next steps to be after they enjoy and are empowered by the book?
If someone has a current financial advisor, I think that's fantastic. you have another professional that's there to help you or your CPA to help you. At Bloom Financial, we specialize in creating customized retirement income plans for you. And I always tell people, it's great that you're working with someone, and it's really difficult to get a second opinion from your current person who you're working with because they created the plan for you. So we are willing and able to help create your own customized retirement income plan that could show you how long your money could last for during your lifetime.
Beautiful. So another place that they can either lean in and get support if they don't have someone walking beside them in this area, but also it's great to be able to have a place you could go get that second opinion to give you peace of mind as you are moving through these uncertain and challenging times. So I love that you're making yourself available for that. Beautiful. Any final tips or things you would like our listeners to think about as we get ready to go to our next commercial break?
Well, whenever you're doing your planning, here's really the step-by-step process. I'm going to give you some of our playbook here. Is you really want to focus on your fixed expenses. And you also want to figure out ways to create retirement income from your investments that can help you cover those fixed expenses. And you also want to have investments that are geared towards, the fun things you want to do in life, like travel or golfing or taking a cruise. And that's where you need different investments for different items for your retirement income.
Beautiful. I love that we can include some of those fun things in the financial planning process. I think there's sometimes this fear that we can't. It's all about money and investments and how all that stuff works together and can feel really heavy. And I love that it's a more holistic approach where we can look at what do we really want our life to look and feel like, what are those things now and in the future we want to be able to include and have the funds to do. So I love that you build that in to what you're supporting people with. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You can create your future. You can create these things. Mm-hmm. You just have to work with a professional who knows how to do that with you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing. And listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want to encourage you these 2 minutes. So they're 2 minutes in disguise just for you. Really take a moment and think about, are you aware of your expenses and what are some of those things that you're wanting to build into your life now and into the future? That's really great information to bring to a financial expert to support you in your journey. But you want to have some clarity around that. So take these next 2 minutes and just think about that a little bit. What are those things that you are wanting to build into your life and into your plan, both now and in the future? And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you spent a little time feeling in to what are those things that you want to build into your life now and into the future. And I hope that it was fun to actually explore that a little bit and feel into it and gain clarity on some of those things you want to build into your life and you want to build now in what you're able to do and bring forward as you step into the future. And here's the thing about the future. It's built today, step by step by step, adds up to where we are going and what we are building. And so by taking time to look at those things, it helps you build them into your life proactively. So I encourage you to do that. And we're going to now shift our conversation a little bit to look at how our brains work when it comes to learning and unlearning. When we're in a dynamic and shifting environment, it's really important that we're continuing to learn and grow and be able to find new ways to move those things forward that matter to us, to become all that we're wanting and needing to become. So I'm very excited to have our next expert who became very curious about this and has great information and insight to support us as we're living in a dynamic, shifting, and changing environment. So let me share a little bit about Dr. Julie. Dr. Julie Hafner became curious about how leaders can successfully change and update their skills. I think that's a beautiful concept because sometimes we can get stuck. So I love that we can continue to lead and grow and update our skills as we are moving forward. She has researched this idea of unlearning, brain updating, and helps people remove non-productive skills that can limit us. She is a podcast host, a best-selling author, and is passionate about helping you navigate uncertain times in powerful ways. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Dr. Julie Hafner to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so glad to be here.
Yay, I am glad to have you here as well. Excited for the conversation. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why this work of learning and unlearning is so important to you.
Well, let me start off with your audience, getting them to think a little bit. And what I'd like to know is, have you ever wanted to change something? And I bet most of us would answer yes. And unfortunately, it tends to be a little bit scary, a little bit, fearful, and we tend to be really worried about how we're going to do it. And that was kind of my premise for learning about what we do to change and why we're fearful of it, and how we can, we can successfully be a successful changer.
Mm-hmm. I love it. We can be so resistant to change. I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you discovered about that and how we can make it easier.
Well, that's quite a process. But I will start by saying, let's define some terms so that the listeners can understand better. Everybody knows what it is to learn something. That is to have something that they can develop a skill with. Like, for example, if you want to tie your shoe, that's a skill that you could learn. Now, unlearning is a little bit different. Unlearning is all about changing from a previous knowledge. So what that means is if you were a person that was a great shoe tire, and you've probably done that about 10,000 times, guess what? What would happen to you if you, say, maybe unfortunately broke your arm? How would you now tie your shoe? And those are the kinds of questions that we ask ourselves when we need to start the change process. What do we need to do, and how do we need to do it differently?
Do you find that people in your research, people get stuck on, but this is how I've always done it? Or is there something that helps them move more easily into looking at ways to do it differently before they have to do it differently? What did you find around that? Curious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, when I teach my coaching clients, many people find me and want to work with me to help them change those unproductive things. And one of the things I teach with my coaching clients is how to start the process of unlearning. And that process starts with, obviously, becoming aware, learning what you need to do differently, and then making the appropriate moves toward doing that. I like to have it the 3 Ds of that, which is to dream, to dare, and to do. That's kind of easy to remember, and a lot of people can work with that way.
Mm-hmm. So part of the process is recognizing, dreaming that they want a shift in some way. So that desire that they want to have it be different, then daring and discovering and doing. Like they need to start to envision it being different. Now, I know when in your example with the arm being broken, it's kind of not a choice. We have to do something different. And sometimes that can be motivating. Do you find that also people can be equally motivated without a have to, but a desire to?
Oh, absolutely, Rebecca. The most important thing is obviously the recognition that what their current learning is. And many of my clients have to first start by looking at the fears they have that are holding them back. And, I'm always grateful when I can help them develop that awareness of what are the fears, what are the things that are giving them those problems, and why maybe aren't they changing. Sometimes pinpointing the why is just equally important.
Mm-hmm. Do you find sometimes the why is from things that are no longer existing, or they are existing, or is it a mix? Kind of that why we keep doing certain things? Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up. Most of the people that have fears, and when you're talking about unlearning, you're talking about what is that knowledge or skill or talent or ability that is really hardwired in the brain? What is that thing you're really pretty easily doing? And then when you have to look at those fears are tending to be the linchpins or the things that are holding that whole system in working order, so that when you do try to change, sometimes it doesn't work so effectively. I tend to work with my clients to help them break those skills, break those linchpins, and start moving them forward in a good direction to develop those forward actions and skills and talents and abilities, and basically update their brain to make it work the way that they want it to.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So it's in alignment with what they're wanting to do, where they're wanting to go. Are you finding during this dynamic and changing environment that we're in that more people are open to shifting and changing or resistant to it? Or is it all over the place? I'm curious.
I think there's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of misinformation that exists, and that's across the whole spectrum of everything. But I also think that people's fear is keeping them stagnant, stuck where they are, and they don't want to move because the unknown is a fear of itself. Remember, even the caveman, wanted to be certain whether they were going to eat that day or they were going to get eaten. So we do have those fears that keep us stuck. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that's keeping us where we are.
So if someone is feeling stuck, they are feeling stagnant, even with all the shifting and changing around them is actually creating more fear, more uncertainty, more they're feeling almost a victim or trapped. Do you have a suggestion or a tip to help them just expand that a little bit, encourage them a little bit?
Absolutely. Well, one of the best things I can say is that if you're having a difficulty with a change that you're considering, one of the things you might want to do is pose that change as a question. The brain loves questions, and it loves to solve problems. So one of the things you can do is phrase that change as a question. Not should I do it, but how would I accomplish this, or in what ways could I do? And the brain will come up with all these solutions that you'd never even thought of. It's it's similar to brainstorming for those of you that are familiar with that, but it's more in depth. It helps pinpoint what is going wrong. So get that, because the brain is so curious and wants to give you the answer. Make it a question, and you will probably find out much more about what's holding you back and how you can move forward.
Beautiful. And is that even a good question to ask? What's holding me back, or do you find that a good exploration?
I think that. I find that really makes you go off into different directions. You get into the emotional side, you get into the lack of gratitude side, you get into the woe is me side. Sometimes the pity party kind of takes over. So be specific. This is a change that I could make, and what things do I need to do, and how can I go forward? And how would I solve this problem? Or there's another technique that I use as well. If you were giving advice to a friend, what advice would you give them? Because 95% of the time, people do know their own truth or their own solutions. They just need to be led and guided, and that's what I do with my clients and help them to get that pinpoint focus that they need.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love learning how the brain works and that it loves to solve problems. I think sometimes we can come up with all kinds of problems, and here we've got this amazing brain that would love to help if we can harness that a little bit, Rebecca, and bring it forward.
Rebecca, our brain is phenomenal. Our brain knows, so many things. And I always laugh about the brain is the size of the Library of Congress. But why can't I remember what I went to the other room to get my keys for and where my keys are? It's always funny. But on a more serious note, there's a lot that the brain can do. Think about in terms of communication. I also work with people with communication problems, and those people have to deal with recognition of body language. That's those subtle amounts of language. Are those people able to recognize it? Sure. Guess what? The brain can do all that. The brain recognizes patterns. The brain recognizes skills or wants to update them. They don't want to be behind the times. It wants to move forward. So when you work on those skills, you can improve better. And that's the most important for your listeners. get behind the idea that you can constantly update and develop your skills. There's nothing really there to hold you back unless you want to let it there.
I love that, and that the brain is naturally curious and wants to solve problems and wants to learn and grow and find more efficient ways to do things, that we have this amazing, amazing brain that can support us so powerfully, especially during these challenging times. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your tips, and your insights on the brain and learning and unlearning. I appreciate it.
No problem, Rebecca. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. As we do that, in these 2 minutes that you have, take a moment to get curious. Ask some of those things as a question. How can I move this forward? Or what if I did this? Really explore that a little bit and see what sort of information you discover. And when we come back, we're going to get some great tips from our amazing guests, as well as let you know how to connect and go deeper with them. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-hosts Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and had some great information come forward as you got curious and harnessed some of that beautiful problem-solving talent that your brain has and the amazing information it can harness to support you during uncertain times as things are changing and we're adapting, how powerful it is to be able to harness our brain to support us and help us build and move forward those things that matter most to us now and going forward. And as promised, we're going to go around the room, have each of our amazing guests share how you can go deeper with them. I'd love to have you build a connection and a relationship with our guests. They're amazing. So I want to let you know how to do that. And then they each have a tip they're going to share as well. So with that, Bill, I'd love for you to actually, Bill, before I have you come on, I want to remind everybody about Bill's book coming out, just so everybody has it on your calendar. August 14th, Retire As You Desire will be available on Amazon for that special $1 rate. So make sure to put that on your calendar, save that date, and watch for the posting and sharing out about that. We're excited to make that available to everybody. And then, Bill, I'd love for you to share how people can connect with you and go deeper.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rebecca. We have multiple ways that you can connect with us. The first would be a phone call. That's really the best way to do things, is calling our office directly at 815-600-1758. And then we've created the Retire As You Desire scorecard. And this is a way to take a deep dive. And this kind of correlates with what our doctor was saying here a moment ago about your brain, as we created a retirement scorecard to see if you're mentally ready to retire. So it kind of fits in perfectly with our other guests here. It's fantastic. So you can go to www.retireasyouDesirescorecard.com and take a 10-minute assessment to see if you are mentally prepared to retire.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing and making that available. And do you have a quick tip for our listeners?
Yes, a quick tip. So we have a really neat software program that shows a prospective client or a client or whomever how long their money could last for with what you're doing right now. So my tip would be, take some time and plan out how long your money could last for with what you're doing right now, and see if you need to make any adjustments during these volatile times. So take the time and be proactive with your planning.
Beautiful. Very good reminder. Take the time and be proactive. Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then yeah, absolutely. Dr. Julie, I'd love for you to share how people can connect with you and go deeper.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rebecca. I'd love to entertain a discovery call with anyone. You can connect with me. I do a lot of speaker, coach, and consultants, helping them start the business that they would love to start, and speak to earn and speak to monetize. So the website is www.myspeakerhelp.com, all one word, and would love to connect with everyone. I do have my 2 books, the 7 Tactics to Communication Completions, and its compendium workbook that goes along with it to get your body language and communication to be updated, and What to Say podcast on the Millionaire Flicks. Lots of things going on. I'd love to connect with everyone, and just love to hear how you're working with your changes in this unchangeable, fantastically crazy world.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing, making all of those resources available. Can you give the website one more time?
Sure. It's called My Speaker Help, MYSPEAKER Help, HELP at .com. Sorry about that. .com.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I also have the email at gmail.com too as well. So that's why I had a little brain freeze there.
All good. Well, listeners, as you get ready to go back out into the world, I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope that this show has been supportive to help you, especially during changing times, be able to really harness your amazing brain to support you. Really take a look at your finances and have those support you now and into the future, because you are an amazing gift to the world. Beautifully, powerfully, and wonderfully made, absolutely needed, especially during times like this. So I believe the biggest gift you can give the world is being willing to share just a little bit more of you. Be willing to step forward, be seen, be heard, and really share the amazing gift of who you are and gifts that you've been given. That's how we make the world a better place, one heart, one life at a time. Be willing to lean in, bloom where you are planted, and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. We'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.